Hello, my name is Chris and welcome to today's book looking at The Hunger Games by Suzanne Collins. In today's book we're going to look at The Hunger Games from Suzanne Collins in the Paperback Box Set. The whole trilogy consists of 3 books, which are The Hunger Games, Catching Fire and Mockingjay. The first 2 books have already been turned into movies, and the 3rd book will be filmed in 2 movies, I think. For those of you who do not know the story of this book, I think the first one was released in 2008, the second one in 2009, and the last one in 2010. This is a dystopic story, which has, according to some reviews, similarities to Koshun Takami's Battle Royale from 1999, and revolves around the 16-year-old Katniss Everdeen from District 12. Why District 12? In this post-apocalyptic North America, there is a rich capital, which is surrounded by 12 poor districts. There used to be 13 of them, but in the trial of a rebellion against the capital, one of the districts was destroyed, this district number 13. And as a punishment for this rebellion, each district has to offer a sacrifice, the so-called tributes, 1 girl and 1 boy between the age of 12 and 18 for the annual Hunger Games. In these games, the participants, 24 of them if you're doing the math right, fight for survival in a deathmatch. As Katniss volunteers to be one of the tributes, the female one from District 12, the story and her fate begins to unfold. This is where the story sets off of the Hunger Games. There are several different paperback editions with different covers, and I just saw that there is going to be a new one released, I think in June 2014, which might be worth a look as well. How much do you have to pay for this box set? It is about $24. 20 euros or £16, and if you're trying to get the single books, which are inside here, depending on the cover and where you buy them, you have to pay between $6 to $9 or €6 to €9. So you can get the single books at a lower price if you are lucky than the box set, though then you will miss out this beautiful box, which has the Mockingjay on the front and back, or if you're seeing like this, on both sides. Then you have the Hunger Games title, the name of the author, and a small Mockingjay. And as you can see, it is a glossy box, very smooth. And on the bottom you can see the original price, when I turn it around, which was about £24. So this is a UK edition. When we're moving the books from the box, where they sit very tightly, we see that the box is rather sturdy. So it's not just some paper wrapped around the books, but an actual card box. Looking at the books, we see the individual covers of the books, starting with The Hunger Games, then Catching Fire and Mockingjay. First thing that we see is that they match each other very well in their layout. We have a small quote of a famous author on top, then we have the title of the series, and the title of the book, which is the same one as the series for the first book. For the second book it's Catching Fire, then Mockingjay. They come in different colors. The funny thing is, in some editions, Catching Fire is the red one, which seems more logical, and Mockingjay is the blue one with the Mockingjay in free flight. Then we have the HG for Hunger Games on all 3 of them, the name of the author, and a small advertisement for the motion picture that was released in 2012. Looking at the spine of the book, we find this exact same informations. We have the name of the author, the HG with the small picture fitting the book, name of the series and the name of the book, the small quote again, and the logo of the publisher. Looking at the back, we see a small preview of the book, so I'm not going to show it too long, you don't get a spoiler. We have another quote from a newspaper this time, and the HG with the logo and the price, with the publisher and the ISBN. The outside of all three books is very smooth and glossy. Maybe you can see it a bit shining. So that feels very valuable. And it is rather sturdy for a paperback edition. So on this side we can say it's a very, very good paperback edition in my point. When opening the book, and here we can look at all three of them at the same time, we get the familiar HG in all three of them, and the layout is the same for all three of them. So I'm going to look at the first book and then just take a short look at the third and the second one. We get lots of praising quotes on the second page, the name of the book, the logo from the cover again, the name of the author and the publisher. Then we do have some information about the book, when it was first released, that was 2008, first published, and this edition is from 2009. And then we start with part 1. The book is split up in 3 parts. I'm not going to show you the second and the third one, though I don't want to spoil the story for you. What we're going to look at is we have the chapter here, chapter number, and it is the same layout in all 3 books, which we'll see later. And then we have the text, which is rather large compared to other paperback editions, with a generous line spacing, which makes it very easy to read, and there is not much text on each page. Now, looking at the paper, I was rather surprised that it is of good quality, though it is not perfectly white, which I do not expect from a paperback edition. It is rather thick and not too dark, doesn't feel cheap at all. So even on this side, the book makes a good impression on me. We just go through, and at the end of the book, we find a small advertisement for the second and the third book, and a few questions answered by the author herself. For the second book, first thing we see is that was released in 2009. It starts with part 1 as well, in the same layout as the first book. We find the same layout on the pages as well, same font size, same line spacing, and the same layout for the chapter. So the books match each other very well. The paper quality is the same, so it is quite good. At the end of book 2 we find an advertisement for the third book, of course. And looking at the third book, we see the same layout again, and the same font size, spacing and layout of the chapter numbers. At the end of the book you get a small epilogue and here some acknowledgement by the author. Looking at the dimensions of the book, or the books more likely, because they all have the same dimensions, so that they can fit in the same box. We see that they are about 13 centimeters wide, which is about 5 inches. They are 20 centimeters high, which is about 8 inches, and about 2.5 centimeters thick, which is about 1 inch, though they are not exactly of the same thickness, because the page count is different. The first book is about 454 pages. The second book is about 472 pages, and the third book is about 455 pages with the 2 pages of epilogue in it. So, what can I say about this edition? It is a very good edition, in my opinion, for paperback edition, of course. And it comes with a great box. The covers look very nice, though you can choose different ones if you look around a bit. There is one, I think, that looks very good. I don't know which one of it is, but it has a golden cover, very shiny one, and it's not that much more expensive. I think I've seen it for €8 or something. Maybe I can show it here. Yes, this one looks very nice as well. So you can choose from different editions, though I cannot say that they have the same great quality as this book. And of course you will miss out the box in which you can store the books. It is not expensive, I think. And as I mentioned before, there will be a new box set release this summer. So it might be worth waiting for it and looking what it looks like. And if I get my hands on it, of course I will do another book look comparing it to this edition. For this edition, I think it is a very sound package of a great box and 3 great books that match each other perfectly. So I tend to give it 4 out of 5 stars. And if you want the story and do not want to spend too much money on it, but have a matching pair of books consisting of 3 books and a box set, then I recommend you go for this edition. Please keep in mind that you can get different covers depending on which box you choose. There is one that is completely black with a logo on it, so I think it is hard to come by now, but if you see it, that might be worth a look too. If you want to spend as little money as possible, you can get the individual books for around $6 to $9, so you might be able to save some money. So then, if you want to save money, it is worth looking for a used version of this box set, because you can get it at a very low price on eBay or on Amazon. Try looking for it. And maybe you can find a cover that fits your taste more than this one. For today's book look, I thank you for watching, and if you have further questions about these books, the box, or any other book that I presented, please leave me a comment or send me a message, and I hope to see you next time when we are going to look at the hardcover edition of The Hunger Games. For today I thank you and say bye.
Acabando de llegar.